You've had that dream, haven't you? The one that felt too real. The one where time bent, people you've never met spoke your name, and you woke up with a truth in your chest you couldn't explain. A place you've never visited, yet every detail was familiar. A voice calling you from somewhere you can't name. And the strangest part? It lingered. Not like a memory, like a message. Most people think dreams are symbols, coded reflections of your waking life. But what if they're not just psychological? What if they're spiritual? What if the dream that shook you at 3 a.m. was a transmission? What if the recurring nightmare isn't about fear, but about forgetting? See, ancient traditions never treated dreams as random. They called them portals, windows into the soul's memory, places where time folds and the spirit speaks. Modern science tries to reduce dreaming to brain noise. But what if your soul never agreed with that? In this video, we'll decode the forgotten spiritual purpose of dreams, why they come, where they take you, and what they're really trying to show you. And here's the twist. In part 7, we'll talk about the one type of dream that almost always means a past life is trying to surface. And in part 10, you'll discover why one specific kind of dream may be your soul preparing you for death or rebirth. But first, we need to break the myth that dreams are just illusions. So if this part made something in your gut stir, drop a comment. I remember what my dreams reveal. And like this video to echo this truth to others who felt it but never had words for it. Because we're just getting started. And by the end, you may never sleep the same way again. Everyone wants to decode their dreams, but few ever ask the right question. The truth is, not all dreams are the same. Some are echoes of your day, some are mental processing, but a rare few are not from the mind at all. They're from the field. See, your soul doesn't speak in language. It speaks in resonance. It speaks in archetype, memory, sensation. So when you dream of drowning, it may not be about water. It may be your soul saying, you're overwhelmed by a truth you're avoiding. When you dream of flying, it may not be about freedom. It may be a glimpse of how your consciousness actually moves without the body. This is why spiritual dreams feel different. You don't wake up confused. You wake up changed, like something old just came alive inside you. Mystics knew this. The Sufis called these dreams ruya, visions from the unseen. The Toltecs trained dreamers to navigate other realms, and Tibetan monks believed that dream state was training for what happens after death. The deeper question is not, what does this mean? It's, where did this come from? Because if the dream didn't come from your subconscious, then who sent it? That's when things get interesting, because your guides, ancestors, and even your future self can all speak through the dream space, and the more conscious you become of this, the more your dreams will shift. They'll get clearer, sharper, more personal, not because they're changing, but because you're finally listening. If this part helped you question the source of your dreams, drop a comment. I listen beyond symbols. And like this video if you're starting to realize your dreams are more than messages. They're invitations. Invitations to remember who you are beyond waking life. You ever dream something and then it happens? Not as a coincidence, not as déjà vu, but like your soul had already seen it before your mind caught up. That's not imagination, that's precognition, and it's one of the clearest signs that dreams are more than the brain sorting out memories. They're access points to timelines, not just of the past, but of what hasn't happened yet. You see, time is not as linear as we think. Your soul doesn't experience life in a straight line. It moves across timelines, possibilities, parallel lives. So when you dream of a person you haven't met, a city you've never visited, or a tragedy that hasn't occurred, you may be tapping into one of those other paths. This isn't fantasy, it's resonance, because in the dream state, your consciousness is unbound, not stuck in your body, not anchored to the clock, free to drift across the grid of potential realities. And sometimes, it brings back a piece, a warning, a preparation, a memory from the future. This is why some dreams feel urgent, why some wake you in the middle of the night, heart racing, breath caught, because part of you knows this isn't symbolic. This is a glimpse. The question is, are you listening? The more present you become to your inner world, the more clearly the outer world begins to echo it. And when you treat dreams as information, not just interpretation, you stop asking what they mean and start asking what they're showing you. If this part gave you chills or brought up a dream you've never forgotten, drop a comment. I've seen beyond the now. And like this video if your dreams have ever shown you what was waiting before it arrived. Because some dreams don't come from memory, they come from destiny. Some dreams don't feel like dreams at all. They feel like returns. You open your eyes inside them and you're not you, not the you know. Different hands, different voice, different name, and yet it feels more familiar than waking life. You move through an ancient city you've never studied, but you know every turn. You speak a language your waking mind doesn't recognize, but your soul understands. This is not fantasy, it's retrieval, because the soul does not forget. It stores everything, across lifetimes, across identities, across bodies. What you call a past life may simply be a memory too deep for the brain, but not too deep for the dream. And when you sleep, your soul moves. It revisits timelines it once walked. It re-enters karmic threads that remain unresolved. It reclaims wisdom you left behind. This is why some dreams come with unexplainable emotion, grief for a lover you've never known, rage from a war you never fought, fear of drowning when you've never touched open water. These aren't random, they're echoes. They rise not to haunt you but to heal you, because as long as a memory remains hidden, its energy remains active. But once remembered, it begins to dissolve. And that is the hidden medicine of dreaming. It allows your soul to complete what your mind never began. So the next time you wake up with the sense you were someone else, don't dismiss it. Ask, what does this self remember that I need to bring into this life? Because maybe the wisdom you're searching for is already inside you, just wearing a different name. If this part stirred something deep in your chest, comment, I remember beyond this life, and like this video to anchor your recognition, because memory isn't always forward-facing. Sometimes healing begins by looking back. Not all dreams come to show you the past. Some come to free you from it. You see, memory, when unprocessed, becomes energy, and energy, when ignored, becomes pattern. So that dream of betrayal from a life you don't remember, maybe it's why trust feels so fragile in this one. That nightmare of drowning centuries ago, maybe it's why your breath still tightens in crowds. This is karmic echo, and dreams are how the soul surfaces what the mind has no language for. But here's the secret. The dream itself isn't the healing. The choice you make after is. Because every time the past returns, you're being asked, do you want to carry this forward or clear it? Dreams aren't just mirrors, they're crossroads. You're not just remembering what happened, you're being offered the chance to shift what comes next. And sometimes that shift is subtle. You stop reacting to someone's rejection, because in your dream, you saw where it began. You stop fearing loss, because in your dream, you remembered how the soul never really parts. This is why some dreams feel like medicine, why you wake up lighter, not because something was explained, but because something was released. The soul doesn't need words to heal, it needs recognition, and dreams are where recognition begins. So if a dream ever leaves you with a feeling you can't name, don't chase the meaning, sit with the vibration. Because some memories are too sacred for symbols, they speak in sensation, and once they're felt, they're freed. If this part helped you see your dreams as more than messages, as moments of liberation, comment, I release what I remember, and like this video to ripple the signal for others who are ready to do the same, because healing the past doesn't require going back, only opening up. Some dreams don't feel like memories, they feel like messages. And that's because they are. Not all dreams originate from your subconscious. Some are broadcasts sent from beyond what you call self, your guides, your ancestors, your higher self. They don't speak in language, they speak in presence, and they often use dreams, because when the mind is quiet, the signal is clear. You may not remember the words, but you remember the feeling. You wake with tears, or awe, or certainty, without knowing why. That's not your imagination, that's spiritual contact. Ever dreamed of a loved one who passed and woke up feeling more peace than grief? That wasn't memory, that was visitation. Ever had a dream where a luminous being handed you a symbol you didn't recognize and later that symbol appeared in real life? That wasn't coincidence, that was guidance. These moments happen when you're aligned enough to receive, not because you're special, but because you're finally silent enough to listen. Dream space is the original temple. No walls, no time, no ego, just soul to source, heart to beyond. And when you stop asking if it was real, you start receiving more, because dreams don't require belief to function, they require attention. So if you've ever felt like someone was with you in your sleep, watching, guiding, correcting, maybe they were, and if your soul speaks through dreams, what makes you think you're ever really dreaming alone? If this part made you remember a dream that felt too real to explain, comment, I listen to the unseen, and like this video to help others realize they're more supported than they know. Because the truth is, some messages don't come to the mind, they arrive through the soul. What if you didn't just dream? What if you could wake up inside the dream? This isn't fantasy, it's called lucid dreaming, and it's not rare, it's a skill. The moment you realize you're dreaming and choose to stay, everything shifts. You're no longer a passenger, you're a participant. You can ask questions, fly across memories, summon your guides, face your fears without running. Because in lucid space, the veil is thin, every thought becomes shape, every belief becomes setting. Your consciousness becomes the sculptor of reality, without the weight of the physical world. But this isn't just about control, it's about contact. Lucid dreams are where the soul trains. Mystics, monks, shamans, they've used them for centuries to travel, to retrieve knowledge, to heal. Because when the waking mind quiets, the deeper self steps forward. You can meet your shadow, not to fear it, but to integrate it. You can visit a childhood memory and rewrite how it lives in your nervous system. You can ask your soul, what do I need to remember? And the answer won't come as words, but as symbol, as story, as experience. And the best part, anyone can learn this. Through practice, through stillness, through intention. Because the mind is just the gate. The key is awareness. So next time you find yourself flying, falling, running, ask one question, am I dreaming? And if the answer is yes, you just entered a classroom of the soul. If this part opened a door for you, comment, I awaken within. And like this video if you're ready to turn your dreams into your deepest source of wisdom. Because you were never meant to just sleep through your soul's messages. You were meant to meet them fully awake. If you could speak to your future self, where would the conversation happen? Not in a boardroom, not in a mirror, but in a dream. Because dreams aren't just random sequences, they're dialogues, rituals, blueprints for healing, if you know how to enter them with intention. Dream work is the ancient art of using your dreams as medicine, and it begins with one sacred question before sleep. What does my soul want me to know? Then you lie down, not to escape the day, but to meet the night with purpose. This shifts everything. Your dreams respond, they sharpen, they organize, they begin to speak, because now someone is finally listening. You'll see symbols recur, you'll feel déjà vu magnified, you'll wake with phrases, places, faces that weren't just dreams, they were transmissions. And through this, healing begins. You see the root of your fear, not just the symptom. You trace your heartbreak to a contract made lifetimes ago. You find out the anxiety isn't yours, it's inherited. And most importantly, you remember how to release it, because the soul doesn't need you to fix anything, it needs you to recognize it. And dreams are where that recognition blooms. So start small, a journal by your bed, a question on your tongue, a few deep breaths of presence before you drift. You don't need rituals, you need readiness. And once you're ready, your dream life stops being random. It becomes a map, not to escape reality, but to return to it with clarity. If this part gave you permission to approach your dreams with more reverence, comment, "I enter sleep with purpose," and like this video if you're ready to stop forgetting your dreams and start working with them, because the soul speaks every night. The only question is, are you still enough to hear it? Not every dream is about you. Some dreams are about us. You've had them, the ones that feel too big for your story, the ones where cities collapse, skies shift, strangers cry out, and somehow, you know it's not fiction, it's transmission. These are collective dreams, and they don't come from your subconscious, they come from the field. The human psyche is not a closed system. We're wired into something bigger, a collective web of thought, memory, trauma, and prophecy. Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious. Mystics called it the world dream. Shamans call it the dream time. Whatever the name, it's real. Because when the world trembles, so do we. That's why some people dream of floods days before a tsunami, why children dream of ancestors they've never met, why you've woken with grief that doesn't belong to your biography. You're not broken, you're attuned. And in times of global transition, these dreams intensify, because the field is asking, who among you is awake enough to hear me? And if you've ever felt that dream wasn't yours, you're being invited into something larger, not to carry it all, but to witness it, to pray it forward, to speak what others are still afraid to see. This is why dreams matter more than ever, because some messages won't show up on your feed. They'll arrive in your sleep, and your soul agreed, before birth, to help carry them through. If this part made you feel like your dreams might be part of something greater, comment, "I dream for the whole." And like this video if you're ready to honor not just personal healing, but planetary remembrance. Because when enough of us dream with open eyes, the world begins to wake. Dreams aren't an escape, they're an invitation. Not to forget the world, but to remember why you came here. Because here's the truth most forget. Your dreams are not just reflections of your mind, they're echoes of your mission. Every symbol, every storm, every stranger who whispered something strange and left their fragments of a contract you made before you were born. A contract to wake up, to grow through shadow, to listen when everyone else is asleep. That's why your dreams won't let you rest. That's why they keep showing you the same hallway, the same door, the same child, the same wound. They're not haunting you, they're guiding you. And once you stop interpreting them as puzzles and start honoring them as portals, everything changes. Because the dream isn't just at night, you are dreaming now. And the deeper question is not, what did I dream last night? But, what dream am I walking in this moment? Are you awake? Are you lucid in your life? Or are you still sleepwalking through patterns that your soul already tried to rewrite 10 times over? Here's the gift. Once you begin to witness your dreams, truly witness them, they shift. They become clearer. They sharpen. They speak with symbols so precise you'll wonder why you ever doubted. And when that happens, you stop searching for signs, because you've become one. So ask yourself now, what is your soul trying to say that your waking mind still refuses to hear? If this journey opened something in you, comment, "I walk as the dreamer and the dream." And like this video to signal to the algorithm that dreams still matter and that you're done sleeping on your own power. Because in the end, your dream doesn't need interpretation, it needs embodiment. And you were never here to just sleep through the night. You were here to awaken through the dark.